everybody, and welcome to your Week 4 recap show. He's James Moynihan. I'm Ross Berge. It's good to have you back, buddy.
You know what? It's good to be back after a week of travel. It's good to be home and back on the show. Back on the set. Here we go.
We got to start off with a 1-point victory for Grimsley Bears on Monday night. Down 19 points with just LeGarrette Blount playing on Monday night. He pulls off a 1-point victory against you. What do you think?
It was unbelievable. Real tough to see that. That's the kind of game that championship teams need to win. And right now, I don't think my team's a championship squad. We got to figure out a way to get that, and that starts right off with me, the GM and coach. So we'll see if we can figure that out for next week.
Big win.
Next up, we have Rex Ryan's pedophiles against Kim Kardashian's lack of Bush. A high-scoring affair as Albert pulls out another victory to extend his unbeaten streak now, being the only team that is undefeated in the league. Gets 200 yards out of Matt Forte. Really tough week for Ricky Snoots as he puts up another huge day. He takes a risk, starts Cam Newton, gets 31 points from him, and unfortunately falls short.
Unbelievable, but big win for Albert.
Absolutely.
All right, we had Kindergarten Cop 106, Doug Leidebud's vasectomy 88. The Groom gets big games from Josh Freeman and Calvin Johnson to improve to 2-1-1.
Yeah.
As Chooch loses his second straight game to fall to 2-2 on the year. Not good.
Tough start for Chuck there.
Yeah.
Next up, we have the Thompson Takeover versus Bergey-licious. And JK, our reigning champ, finds his first victory of the season with really another high-scoring affair. Bergey-licious falls short, putting up 98 points. JK going with 122 on the day. He has a huge day from one Aaron Rodgers, the largest fantasy output of the season, with 45 points from Aaron Rodgers.
Yeah, that killed me. All right, we had Honolulu Flying Hawaiians 113, Corporate Fat Cats 93. Raggers got a big game from his number one pick, Michael Vick, as Corporate Fat Cats could not capitalize from a 29-point performance from the Ravens defense.
Wow, big
Flying Hawaiians 2-2 now. Corporate Fat Cats fall to 1-3.
Yeah, next up we have Brendan's fighting frog swans versus the Too Big to Fail squad. Brendan continues to win using his, as he describes, money ball approach towards fantasy football. No one on his team puts up more than 16 points, but Brendan is still able to put up 100 total. This money ball approach really is working out for Brendan as he sits atop the Hard Times division.
Yep, and Jake's got Aaron Foster back now, so we'll see how that turns out.
We'll see how that works out.
Fat Albert's Fan Club 67, Hainsworth's Jiggly Tits 50. This was the toilet bowl of the week, Jimbo.
This was terrible.
These two teams combined for just 117 points. BMAC falls to 0-4 and got the number one waiver wire pick this week. We actually picked a defense, the Lions defense. Interesting.
Very interesting, as BMAC looks for players on his team, and he goes with a defense. Very, very interesting.
Very strange.
What do you think about the matches this week, Roscoe?
All right, the matchups this week, we got Chuck versus Al, JK versus BMAC, myself versus John, you versus Jake, Snoots versus Jed, and Andy versus Rag. This will be an interesting week with the buys coming here. Good starters are out.
Yeah, no, I know what you're saying.
Some good starters are out, so we'll see how the bench fills in for the missing starter.
Heading into the bye week, very interesting couple notes here. Chooch forgets about the waiver wire and does not pick up a flex play, so he goes into his matchup against Albert without Brandon Marshall and really with Kevin Walter as his next best player.
Yep.
Ross versus John. ESPN has them projected to tie here, which is very interesting.
91-91.
3-1 John goes up against 1-3 Bergey-licious.
Yep.
Snoots and Jed looks to get over a couple of tough losses there from Snoots. I am sure that happy endings will be very tense on Sunday as we head into it. My own matchup with Jake is interesting because neither of us have any quarterbacks, so we'll see how that goes.
Yep, we'll see how that turns out.
What do you think is actually our marquee matchup?
I think it's got to be Brendan versus Grim. They're both 3-1, atop of their division. So
I got to agree with that. Who do you have as your winner for this?
You know, I like Grim. I've liked him from the beginning of the year. I think he's got a good squad. So I think he takes it out this week.
I'm actually going to go against Grim this week. I'm a little disappointed that he pulled out the victory against me, but I actually think Brendan will continue to reign supreme in the Hard Times division. A lot of question marks for Grim as he has Ben Roethlisberger questionable this week. Brandon Jacobs also questionable. A little bit of a slide down for Rowdy White. as far as the wide receivers in Atlanta go. And then Brendan really, he has absolutely awful running backs, and he looks to overcome that. But they look to find the end zone yet again. So,
yeah. And top performer Wes Welker will probably have Darrell Revis on him this week, so we'll see.
Very, very true. Very true. We're going to get Grimm on the phone
Let's
here.
just ask him all these questions.
Yeah. Brandon Grimm, sitting atop.
Hello?
Brandon!
Hey, how you doing?
What's up, buddy?
Not a lot.
Excellent. We have the owner of the Grimsley Bears. Grimm, first we'll start off just by talking about last week. Pulling out a 1-point victory over yours truly.
Unbelievable.
At halftime, LeGarrette Blunt had only 4 points. You couldn't have been feeling too confident at that point. Can you talk us through the second half?
Yeah, I was actually at the bar, and I was watching it with a friend of mine who had LeGarrette Blunt in a different league, and he only needed him to go take 10 points. And I think around the third quarter, I was going home, almost stopped watching the game, and then just kind of threw it on.
Yeah,
sure.
Nothing else on, and when he ran for that, I didn't even have the game caster because I honestly thought it was over. And I just kind of opened it to see what the score was at that point, and I think at that point it was tied at 88.
Sure.
He needed 3 yards for another point, so he got that and
Yes, he did.
saved my ass.
Yeah, down to the wire, but you pulled it off. Unbelievable. What do you think about this week's matchup against Brendan?
I think it's going to be pretty interesting because he seems to have a team that can score, and I'm a little bit concerned about Big Ben's vagina.
Oh,
And
that's true.
I'm not exactly sure LeGarrette Blunt can do that every week, but I guess we'll have to see. I got a couple guys who are a little mixed up, and going into Sunday, we'll have to see what they do.
Now, Graham, question for you. Let's say Big Ben can't go, or maybe you're not confident in Big Ben. Where do you go from there? You looking at another quarterback? What are you thinking?
Well, to be completely honest, I put a lot of thought into this, and I've been doing decent this season so far, pretty much without a quarterback. So,
Yeah.
regardless if he plays or not, I've had him score 5 points once, I've had him score 8, and I'd probably be better off with someone like Colt McCoy starting if it wasn't a bye week, but I'm just going to take my chances and see where it goes.
That's what DMAC thought earlier this season.
Started again, so I knew that was someone that Ben wanted in there for his protection because it's someone he's used to playing with, and hopefully that pays off.
Hey, gotta ask you, did you see your opponent's trade today? We had, what was it, D'Angelo Williams for Jordy Nelson. Did that make you more nervous this weekend?
No, not really, because like I said, there seems to be a lot of players that they feel big or they won't do anything, and I was really concerned about Andre Johnson, so I mean, obviously I'd never wished injury on someone who's that good, but it kind of worked out this week that one of his biggest threats is out, but again, I have Roethlisberger hurt, who's supposed to be a good quarterback, but the trade I think is good for him. Not sure if it's going to make a huge difference. I think this week's pretty much up in the air.
Yeah, only time will tell at this point. Grim, we wish you the best of luck going forward, and we wish everybody a lot of luck, especially Andy Lynch, who is getting married on Sunday.
Yep.
Hopefully the wedding is over before the 4 o'clock games.
Yep.
see if we can wrap that thing up, Andy.
Yep.
See what we can do. So good night, everybody, and God bless. I appreciate all of you. See you later.